Okay. What you saying, producers? E.N.I on the track, back on your box. In today's video, let's cook up a drill beat. There'll be no loop of the day today. Instead, I'm going to show you how to make a drill melody using the scales feature in Beatmaker 3. And as always, I'm going to drop them gems. But before we go any further, if you're new to the channel or you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you drop a like at the end of the video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you want to see going forward. But yo, let's get into it. So I'm going to find me a sound first. Yeah, that'll work. Because I want to play this sample file melodically, I'm going to use the pads method of importing the sample into the project. So I've loaded it onto a pad. I'm going to go over to the sampler view. I'm going to edit the sample. I'm going to normalize it first. I'm going to change my layer trigger to hold because it's a note that I'm playing. And because I want to play multiple notes, I'm going to change the polyphony. We'll keep it at 6. Probably not going to use more than 6 notes at a time. All right, so we've got the sample loaded. I'm going to hit the keys toggle. That's going to open up all the notes available to me. And now let's jump into the scales function. So if I tap on scales here, we have a list of different scales that we can assign our pads to. Because we're working with a drill beat, let's go for a minor scale. I'm going to go for the natural minor. I'll select that. Beatmaker 3 removes all of the notes that sit outside of the selected scale. So now I'm left with just the pads for the notes that are found in the natural minor scale. So this is really helpful if you're not comfortable with the keyboard, for example, where all the keys are available to you, and you just want to make sure you're playing the right notes in a melody or in a chord progression. Using the scales feature isolates only the notes that are found in the scale selected, meaning you can't play a wrong note. So let's try and find our first chord. Let's start with the first chord in the scale. So that's our 1, 3, 5. How about we play it throughout, see how that sounds. So you can hear, just by adding those 2 notes to the pattern, we've given the melody a certain energy now, and we can work off that in building up the melody. So I've got the pattern recorded in, but clearly this isn't just one instrument playing, so I want to adjust the velocities to certain notes just to humanize the pattern more. Alright, so set the velocities now. I'm happy with that. I'm going to double tap the lasso, and I'm going to duplicate this pattern across the 8 bars. Let's add another layer to this melody. I'm thinking the keyboard. Just get some chords in. So with this layer, I'm looking to add tension to the melody with this next set of chords. A quick way to add a long note to the piano roll on Beatmaker 3 is by using this tool here. Select it, and I want to add an F2 note. If I tap and hold, I can create a note and then determine the length of that note by dragging along the piano roll. But yeah, this is useful for creating 8-way bass lines and chord notes. So let's draw in this next pattern. We've got D sharp 2, F sharp 2, and F3. Let's go over to my sequencer, double tap on the virtual piano row, and that creates a pattern. Double tap to open it up again. So our first note that we want is D2. I hover to my tool here, select that, tap and hold on the first note of D2, drag that along. That's my first note. the next two notes. Got an old loop that I've made before. I think will go well with this beat. Let me just find that. As I don't have to do anything with the pitch of the sample, I'm actually gonna delete it from this pads, free up the pads, and create an audio track for this loop. Let's start adding the drums in. This is another tool and another great way to add hi-hat rolls to your pattern to Beatmaker 3. First of all, I'll go to the grid editing grid, take it up to 64. I select this tool. What it will allow me to do is create a chain of notes. Just like that. So we've got a hi-hat roll here. Let's go over to my pattern MIDI window and use the linear tool. For the snares, I'm looking to layer them up just to give them some punch and some dynamics. If I want these two pads triggering at the same time and I'm not too worried about playing the notes of the pads, I head over to my sampler and go over to the channel of my first snare and set a group to link group 1 and go to my other pad and set that to link group 1. When I play 1, they play together. Okay guys, so there you have it. UK drill beat. I'm showing you how to make a melody using the scales feature today. Couple more tips and tricks on the piano roll. So yeah, stick around for the full beat. Let me know what you think of today's tutorial. Drop a like, drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe. And as always guys, keep cooking.